Hello friends, as a part of Polity Revision Program, today we will discuss some of the topics, right, which are based upon current affairs. Right, the first topic that we will discuss is pardoning powers of President of India. So under Article 7 of the Constitution, President is empowered to grant pardon who have been tried and convicted of any offence in all the cases where the punishment is against a union law, or a punishment is given by a court martial, or the sentence is of a death sentence. So today we will talk about this article 72 of the Constitution, which empowers the President of India to grant pardon on all those convictions or punishments inflicted by a law of union government, or the punishment is given by a court martial, or the sentence is of a death sentence. So it is under this it is for these offences or for this convictions, the president can grant pardon under Article 72 of the Constitution. Remember, the pardoning power of president is independent of judiciary, and it can, these pardoning powers are entrusted to President of India, right, as a last resort. They are seen as a last resort in order to correct any judicial error. So these pardoning powers are seen as correcting the judicial errors, right? Or if president thinks that the punishment given is of too harsh, so it is in these conditions, right, the president is empowered to grant pardon. So under Article 7 of the Constitution, president not only is empowered to pardon the sentence, but at the same time he can also commute, he can provide, he can remit, president can, so along with pardon, the President of India can commute, can remit, can respite, and can provide a reprieve. So coming to pardoning, pardon involves absolving of all the punishments. It involves absolving of all the punishment, that is providing freedom to a person from all the punishments as well as conviction. So it is giving a total freedom, providing a total relief from all the forms of punishment. That is what pardon is. Coming to commutation, commute involves altering one sentence by other sentence, right? A sentence of higher character is substituted by a sentence of lower character, right? So one punishment is replaced by another punishment of lower character, so that is what commutation. So here there will be a change in the form of punishment, Coming to remission, so remission, right, president can grant remission where under remission, right, the amount of punishment is reduced without changing the character. So remission involves change in the amount of punishment without changing the character. So it is just a decrease in the quantity of punishment. So if you take the difference between commutation and remission, in commutation we see the form of punishment being replaced, whereas in remission the amount of punishment is being changed. So make this difference very clear. Coming to respite, so respite is provided, right, in certain special cases. So it is giving of lesser punishment in certain special cases. So lesser punishment, providing of lesser punishment in certain special cases, right? So this is what respite. So these special cases may be disability, or whenever a woman is convicted, right? So because of special grounds respite is provided. And the last one is reprieve. Last one is reprieve, where reprieve denotes a stay in the execution of punishment. Stay in the execution of punishment. Alright. So these are the 5 powers given to President of India under Article 72 of the Constitution. Alright. So here similarly, same as President of India, even under Article 161 of the Constitution, Governor of a state is empowered to issue pardon. So even under Article 161 of the Constitution, Governor enjoys the same power of pardoning, commutation, remission, respite and reprieve. But there are certain changes in the powers of president as well as governor. Governor cannot pardon a death sentence. Governor cannot pardon a death sentence. Governor cannot pardon a sentence imposed by court martial. Court martial, right? So these powers, so pardoning death sentence, it is an exclusive power of President of India, right? So we should remember that, right? The pardoning powers of President of India cannot be seen as the appeal against a judicial order, right? So that means while exercising the power under Article 72 of the Constitution, President will not act as a court of appeal. A court of appeal, right? And this power exercised by president, it is totally independent of judiciary. It is totally independent of judiciary, right? And while exercising the powers, the president is bound to act on the advice of the union government. President is bound to act on the advice of union government, particularly the report of Union Home Ministry. Union Home Ministry. Alright. So we should also remember that the petitioner for mercy has no right to oral hearing. No right to oral hearing, right? So president can examine evidence right, which is different and which can be fresh. That is, president can seek fresh evidence while giving his decision, right? President, right, as I said, is totally independent of judiciary. President is not required to have any specific guidelines by Supreme Court. That means no specific guidelines can be laid down by Supreme Court while exercising the powers. No specific guidelines by Supreme Court is required to be laid down. The powers exercised by President of India are not subjected for judicial review. That means there cannot be judicial review on the decisions taken by the President of India on the mercy petitions, right? So if a mercy petition is rejected by President of India, right, a stay cannot be obtained, right, for filing another petition. If a mercy petition is rejected by President of India, stay cannot be issued for filing another mercy petition. So these are the points which we should remember. So this is what about Article 73. Remember, this powers exercised by President of India under Article 73, they are of executive character. So these are executive powers enjoyed by President of India. So Article 72 provides the enjoyment of executive powers by President of India, which includes all this pardon, commutation, remission, respite and reprieve, right? So this is what we should remember, the basic facts on usage of pardoning powers by President of India as well as Governor of a state, and make a clear difference between the President as well as governors. So let us talk about, let me give a few points on the filing the mercy petition. So the convict should, right, file a mercy petition within a period of, so coming to the process, the mercy petition should be filed within a period of 7 days. Within a period of 7 days right, from the announcement of sentence, right, where this mercy petition can be filed personally by the convict or by anyone on behalf of the convict, right, where such mercy petition filed either can be accepted by judiciary or it can be accepted by it can be rejected by Supreme Court. So it can be accepted or it can be rejected, and every decision is informed to the convict by the jail superintendent, right? So all such mercy petitions mercy petitions are sent to the President office, right? So all such mercy petitions are sent to the President office. So after receiving the mercy petitions by the President Secretariat on behalf of President of India, they are then forwarded to Home Ministry for comments and recommendations, right? After consultations, recommendations are made by the Home Ministry, then the petition is sent back to the President for his decision. So after receiving the comments and recommendations on the President right, from the Home Ministry, the petition is sent The petition is sent to the President of India along with these recommendations. Right? So this is what the procedure where President can either provide mercy, that is provide pardon, or he can commute, or he can he can reject a mercy petition. So it is the President who has a complete discretion. But remember, though we say it is discretion, this discretion is exercised by President on the recommendation of the Home Ministry. So this is the procedure adopted in filing the mercy petitions. Right? So remember, right, there is no statutory written provision for dealing with the mercy petitions. One point to notice, there is no statutory procedure. Statutory written procedure dealing with the mercy petitions. Right? So these are the things which we should remember about mercy petitions. Right? Next.